You need to take Social Security early. Yeah, you heard me right. As a financial advisor, I'm telling you, you need to take your Social Security early. And I'm going to go through a specific example on the board. So we've got $550,000 saved for retirement. We've got this in both scenarios. We're going to retire at 60 years old. We're going to do that in both scenarios. We're going to start with an income need of $3,575 a month. We're going to do that in both scenarios. We're going to try to keep this exact as possible so we can get an accurate reading on, should I claim Social Security at 62? Should I claim Social Security at 67? Obviously, you can claim at any age between 62 and 70. If you claim at 62, you're going to get 70% of your full retirement benefit. If you wait until 67 or your full retirement age, you're going to get 100% of your full retirement benefit. And if you wait till 70, you get 124% of your full retirement benefit. It's an 8% increase between 67 and 70 on the amount that you would get paid. So we're going to factor all of that into our analysis. Now, the rate of return on our $550,000 is 4%. $500,000 of this is invested in the market, 50's in the bank. We're using a geometric return of 4%. Now, I realize that bank money might not earn 4% forever. We're not looking at it as the bank's earning 4, the market's earning 4. We're just looking at a geometric, conservative allocation projection of 4%. Now, our expenses, or the income that we need to live in retirement, is going to increase with inflation by 3%. Okay? Now, I understand that inflation could be hot and heavy at different times. So you could go into retirement and inflation could be 6, 7, 8%. Or you could go into retirement and inflation could be 1, 2, 3%. I call that reverse sequence of return risk. Now, if you understand sequence of return risk, a sequence of return risk is essentially you go into retirement, the stock market goes down, the money that you're pulling out of your retirement investments for income is going down at the same time you're pulling it out to live off of. That's sequence of return risk, right? You retire, the market goes down within the first couple years of your retirement. Reverse sequence of return risk for me is that we go into retirement and inflation is high, meaning we're having to pull more money than anticipated from our retirement investments. Doesn't really matter what the market's doing, going up or down, we're having to pull more out. That's called, for me, that's called reverse sequence of return risk. And we are going to calculate in just 3%, but when we do the software, when we go into the Your Financial EKG and do an accurate software for a client, we look at heavy inflation right at the beginning, and then we even that out over time. So, $3,575 is what we need from our retirement investments. From age 60 to 67, we take out the $3,575 per month with inflation. We get a 4% rate of return, and our money goes from $550,000 to $312,127 in retirement investments. So that's 60 to 67. That's 7 years. Right? Now, at 67, our expenses have gone to $4,099. You see that? 3,575, $4,099. That's 3% inflation. Our Social Security's kicking in now. That's $2,950. That's 100% of our full retirement benefit. So we're just assuming our Social Security is going to be right under $3,000. Now, keep in mind, if your Social Security at 60 is $2,950, the projection at 67, I understand that there is a COLA increase on your Social Security payment even when you're not taking Social Security, right? So at 67, it would be higher than $2,950 than what you're projecting at 60. But I don't want to do that. I'm a conservative financial advisor. I want to be projecting this to be conservative. Okay, now I know people are going to comment, you didn't give Social Security a COLA increase, whatever. That's fine. I'm being conservative because I want to protect my clients, right? We want to get to retirement, we want to get through retirement, and we want to protect our ability to stay in retirement. I want to protect our ability to stay in retirement. Just like if you go to the doctor and he says, hey, John, your cholesterol is higher than it needs to be. You probably should take a statin or eat a healthier diet or exercise more, because if you don't, you could have a heart attack. Now, you might live till you're 100 and eat hamburgers and steaks and whatever and never have a heart attack. But the doctor is being a fiduciary, or whatever they call it in the doctor's world, and he's saying, hey, you need to do this to protect yourself. It's the same thing I'm doing. I want to protect you when we're building out our plans. So at 67, we've got $4,099 in expenses. Social Security is $2,950, which means we need $1,149 from our investments. So from 67 to 77, we're pulling out about $1,200 a month. We got a 4% rate of return, 3% inflation. Our 312 goes to 264, 632 in retirement investing accounts at 77. Okay, now this is only investing accounts. This doesn't include a home or rental properties or your collection of baseball cards or whatever. This is just spendable investments, okay? Now at 77, we've got $264,000. Our expenses have gone to $5,085. So you see that? In 17 years, from 60 to 77, we've gone up $1,500 a month in what we need to pull out of our retirement investments. Social Security's also gone up to $3,806, which means essentially at 77 years old, we need about $1,280 per month to live off of from our retirement investing accounts. At 82, we have $219,879. Now I'm going to stop at 82 because I want to do 82 over here on taking Social Security at 62. So we have $219,879 at 82, claiming Social Security at 67, starting with $550,000 in retirement investments. Take a snapshot of that, pause the video, take a picture of that, because we're getting ready to look at 62. Did you take a picture? Okay, now, here's what I want you to know as well. At 100, okay, at 100 years old, there's like, let me see, what's the number on here? At 100, there's $83,000 left on this side, okay? So from 82 to 100, at the end at 100, there's $83,000. Pretty good scenario. Taking Social Security at 63, or at 67, $83,000 left. That's not bad. I like that scenario. Pretty good scenario. Now, let's look at taking Social Security at 62 and why in this scenario, I might advise the client to take Social Security early instead of waiting. You ready? Okay. So at 62, our Social Security is $2,065. Okay? That's 70% of the full retirement benefit of $2,950. We've got the same amount of assets saved, $550,000 saved for retirement. Remember, we're retiring at 60. So there's no extra work, no part-time work, 60 years old. The money that we need out of our investments, $3,575. It's the same for both at 60, okay? From 60 to 62, we have to take out $3,575 from this $550 that's earning 4%, and there's 3% inflation on that. So we go from $550 to $550, $527. Okay, so we go up about $527. Do you see that? We take this out, and in 2 years, we've got that. Okay? Simple, easy. Okay, now at 62, we're taking Social Security. So we take Social Security early. That's $2,065. There's our Social Security. Our expenses have gone to $3,712. So we've gone up about $200. We need $1,647 from our $550, $527. So what we're trying to do there is bridge the gap. We want to stop taking so much money out of our investments. Hey, a lot of times I'll talk to clients and we'll do projections on their Your Financial EKG, and maybe they're retiring at 55 or retiring at 60 or retiring at 57, whatever, and I'll show them from age 55 until 67. Listen, this is about 12 years of income that's going to have to come out of your retirement investing accounts. We don't know what the market's going to do over the next 12 years. Now, I can look at history, we can look at projections, we can even be really conservative on our projections, but we honestly don't know what the world or the market's going to look like. And so it might be a audible at 62. You might say, I'm going to retire at 55 and I'm going to wait till 67 to take Social Security. You might get to 62, 63 and the market might just be in shambles. And you might go, Omaha, right? We're going to audible out of this scenario and we're going to take Social Security at 62 or 63 to help bridge the gap that we need for retirement income, because the worst thing you want to do, I don't want you to have to go back to work. And so don't let market fluctuations and don't let planning pigeonhole you into like, I got to do this, I only can do this. No, these are flexible. You want to be flexible in your planning, okay? Namaste, right? Be flexible. Yoga. I don't know. I don't do yoga. Is that what people say? So At 62, we take Social Security of $2,065. We need $1,647. 62 to 72, we go from $550 to $441. Now our expenses have gone to $4,522. Our Social Security is increased to $2,664. So we need about $1,888 from the $441,000 we have saved for retirement. At 82, 72 to 82, we have $278,292. I want you to see this now. Let's compare the two numbers. At 82, claiming Social Security at 62, we have $278,292. At 82 over here, we've got $219,879. That's a big difference, right? In this scenario, we took Social Security early. We got that money from the government early. We got to use the money that we paid into early. Over here, we delayed. Now, here's the thing I want you to think about too. If I keep running this scenario out, there's $0 at 91. So the question becomes now is, are there other assets to sustain this? Like, is there a house? Is there rental property? Is there an inheritance? Are there collectibles that are going to be sold and are going to fluctuate into this plan? Because in this plan, we're out of money at 91. And you might say, hey, Drew, average life expectancy for a male, depending on the survey that you read, is between 80 and 85, let's say. So this is a pretty good scenario. Take my money early, I'm probably not going to live to 91. Over here, maybe you have longevity in your family. Maybe you're like grandma lived to 100 and daddy lived to 97 and I need a plan to live to my 90s. And so in that case, we're like, hey, it looks good at 82, but the longer you run it out, it actually is better to wait and claim Social Security at 67. That's why I am a firm believer in claiming Social Security when it makes sense for you. It's not about claiming at 67 or claiming at 62 or waiting till 70. Everybody's different. This is a single person example. What if you're married? What if you have a spouse who didn't work and they have spousal benefits and you need to get the best Social Security benefit for them? Then yeah, we're talking about delaying. What if you're retiring early because of a chronic health issue and we need money to pay for that issue? We're claiming Social Security early. So it's done based on your individual scenario, not what you read in a book, not what's in some magazine or some news article. It's based on you. And that's what we do here at Your Financial EKG. We base our financial planning on you. It's not about me. It's not about what some CFP article says or what some Market Watch or CNBC says. It's about you, your needs, and your individual lifestyle. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for watching. God bless. Bye-bye.